change the beat. The sky is not the same no more today. There is no turning back. Lily, not change the beat. Covers always judge books by today, if they are shiny or not. Every page inside is meaningful as always, but no one's gonna read them out again. Oh, please don't wait for me, darling. Stay out of the cold rain, for your heart may become rusty. Oh, please don't wait for me, darling. Just stand there in the sea. Your soul is right now. You don't need to wait, need to wait, need to wait for us. So soft no more today. They change the cold inside. Lily, you never change. They all want a brand new box today, no matter what's inside. All these pieces that meant so much to me those days, tide had washed them all away to vain. Oh, please don't wait for me, darling. Stay out of the cold rain, for your heart may become rusty. Oh, please don't wait for me, darling. Don't stand there in this heat. Your soul is drying out. You don't need to wait, need to wait, need to wait for us. What is there to say? Everything's too late, and we all accept it that way, so be it. Time marches on, really. Wait for me, darling. Stay out of the cold rain, for your heart may become rusty. Oh, please don't wait for me, darling. Just stay safe and sound as long as you are there. I will figure it out, figure it out, figure it out for you once more. Lily, not change the beat. The sky is not the same no more today. There is no turning back. Lily, not change the beat. Covers always judge books by today, if they are shiny or not. Every page inside is meaningful as always, but no one's gonna read them out. once again. Oh, please don't wait for me, darling. Stay out of the cold rain, for your heart may become rusty. Oh, please don't wait for me, darling. Just stand there in the sea. Your soul is right now. You don't need to wait, need to wait, need to wait for us.
Hey everyone! Playing some Guilty. Well, we're not playing Guilty Gear today. We're watching some Guilty Gear.
Guilty Gear Xrd.
We're gonna watch how our main character, Soul Bad Guy, raises his friend's kid to be a good boy. And Sin is, in fact, quite a good boy.
Story.
This should be correct. You can't stop me, gameplay recording blocker. I have a capture card. Alright, I have to move the screen so that we can read the subtitles.
まさか想定外の妨害に遭っているとは思えないが仕方ない僕が全部終わらせる
Move this up a bit. There we go. Oh, it's those shit-faced kids. Alright, Bedman. Gonna give you 2 free kills.
Venom. なぜここが分かったんだしかしあえて言おう誰かと思えばと今さら君なんかが来たところで何ができるどうかな誰だどうして僕の声が聞こえる
My Twitch did that for a while too, but it fixed itself. I have no idea what made it work again. Also, nice to see you, Trump.
どうなっている僕が気配に気づかないなんて
Didn't sense him because it's Robokai.
なるほどね
He doesn't have a soul. He might actually. The lore is a bit questionable on Robokai. Ben trying to be Aang. It's alright, his sister has an arrow that goes the other way. I don't think they actually ever gave Bedman a real name either. So his name is Bedman and his sister is Delilah. Sorry, you know when you're trying to talk through a cough? Hey, Hey, it's Dizzy. She has one angel wing and one devil wing, named Undine and Necro, respectively. It is a cute outfit. Dizzy's a lot of people's favorite characters because she's so cute. She's also a mom.
あなたはなぜ私などに光を見たのですか？
それ今する話。
あなたもまた私と同じく全てを得た。
She's mom, yeah.
全てを失ったものだ。だが
Her
私と
son
違う
is
の
Sin,
全てを諦めていない。
the kid with the flag. She looks too young for that. She is. I think she's actually younger than you think too. Because like in this game, I think Sin's only like 3. It's because the gears age differently. So Sin is like a quarter gear and Dizzy is like a half gear. So let's see how old Dizzy is. Yeah, Dizzy is 8. There we go. Got the regret look in my face? Yeah. Again, it's the opposite of the 1,000-year-old lolly, right?
今まで何を見ていたのだろう。
私は見落としてきたものを勝手に見飽きていたのかもしれないな。
Nah, gears age faster than humans, and they also live long.
一歩も引くな。線の先に明日があると思え。生き抜け。我々の知る明日という言葉は今日を境に意味を変える。
過ぎ去ったものは
So confused? Okay. So, essentially, let's divide characters into two races. We've got the gears, and we've got humans. Humans are just like normal humans in our world. But gears are like these magically created organisms that can take all sorts of forms. There can be humanoid gears, there can be monstrous gears. They're essentially like a magically created life form. They mature faster than humans, and they are, I guess, genetically compatible. I believe Dizzy's a special case because she's kind of like Saul and Arya's kid. But Arya has gear cells, so Dizzy's a half gear.
君の負けだ、ベッドマン。
何？これを？
その球体には何の威力も拘束力もない。
They get to a certain age, and then their aging process slows down?
しかし、
Kinda, yeah.
決して逃れること
Like,
はできない。
essentially, they become adults super quickly. And they're able to mature and absorb information really, really quickly. That's why, even though Sin's 3 and Dizzy's 8, like, Sin is kind of like, you know, an 18-year-old. And Dizzy's, like, I don't know, in her late 20s, early 30s.
球体はいわば僕にロックオンしている照準というわけか。
Do you imagine the growing pains? Imagine how fast the growing pains are.
そう考えている。
Even the psychological stuff too, like,
死にに来たのかと言ったらしい。
you know, 1 month you're going through puberty, and then the next month it's just done.
何ら問題はない。アサシンは生まれ変わる。これからは日の当たる世界で罪を背負う。過ちを正す機会を得たのだ。 君たちの起こした戦争でな。
Fun fact, they also never taught Sin how sex works.
誰かが責任を
He
取らなけれ
thinks
ば
that if a woman's wearing an eye patch, she's a
君と
mom
私の
because
首には
his parents told
その
him
価値がある。
that one of Dizzy's eyes fell out, so Kai gave her one of his. But the eye grew back, so Dizzy gave Kai the eye
く
back.
だらない
And the eye that fell out onto the
そんな
ground
に社会
became
に
Sin.
認められたければただ黙っていればよかった関心を寄せな
And
ければ
now
よ
that
か
I
っ
say that out loud, that kind of sounds like how a Greek god would be
た
born,
今からでも
you
実
know?
践したらどうだ中途半端に環境を妬んで拗ねてみせた挙句に人の知る馬に乗っかって人生をやり直そうなんて厚かましいにも程がある
Then you got the opposite
あま
there.
り安い夢物語
Saul
のために
also has gear
僕た
cells
ちの
in
計
him,
画を
but he's like, I would say probably 200 years old at this point.
数をバカな
Because he was,
本当に死ぬ気か
it's like 2187
今まで私
during
の
this
命
game, I
は
think.
新たなる不幸の
He
糧で
was a
しかなかった
physicist in 2016,
しかし
which means he was probably born in the
壁
80s.
に生まれ変われるとしたらたとえ我が身が塵と化そうとも
His life cycle was accelerated to the point of being his normal age in the series. Oof.
それでハンマー
I didn't watch The Search for Spock, so. I watched the first Star Trek movie. Then I watched the ones with, like, Chris Pine. Oh, and I guess I saw Wrath of Khan as well. I distinctly remember the one where Spock dies. So I'm pretty sure that was the second one. Khan!
負けるというのかこんなに他愛もなくこんなに安っぽい夢のために
I do it 3 times, but there are other people in this
こ
house.
の夢を気安く笑うな
何
さっさと負けを認めろ今なら許してくれるかもしれないぞ
Robokai's a cool dude.
止めろだと納得できると思うのか
Originally, he was supposed to be the opposite of normal Kai. So he was a sex maniac and, like,
意地を張っている
A
状
douchebag.
況じゃないだろ
But
自
he's
ら
chilled
の
out.
命をかければなんて結果より手段を優先する者の詭弁だそれを切り札のように得意満面に振りかざすの
One
か
of the few times
僕
Shatner's
は人
acting
の
is on
命も
point.
かける当然平然ではない無論正論ではない
The one time he decided not to ham it up. Or rather, he hammed it up exactly the amount that needed to happen.
この世界はどんなに上辺を取り繕っても最終的に刑事下に価値を集約して優劣を求めるそれを世の中は万物平等と歌っているんだだからこそ僕はその圧倒的火力を是とする思想に習った不必要なものは全て
So
排
yeah,
除した
Bedman wants to get rid
そ
of
の果て
everything
ならば人は失っ
unnecessary.
たものを自覚できるその果てならば僕たち兄弟のように合理
So
性
that
と
people
統計の犠牲にな
realize,
る人間
oh
はいな
shit,
くなるはずなんだ
we took things for
この
granted.
僕の非常の覚悟たかだか君一人の命と引き換えに諦めるというのか
貴様
Well, that would be humans and
本当は
himself.
優しいんだ
Him and his sister are different. Their intellect is so vast that it will, like, the information would destroy their brains. So they have to stay sleeping.
動くな
Because when you sleep, you go to the plane of information.
お前たちなんでこんなところに
夢を笑うなと言ったなでは僕と同じステージに立ってもらおうかどちらの夢がどちらの思いが強いのかはっきり
So
させようじゃ
Cthulhu
ない
Grand. Kinda.
大
It's
丈夫
alright, Robokai.
この子たちの名前も覚えている
You can let them die. Also, because Bedman is awake right now, at least I'm pretty sure he's awake right now,
おいベノム
there's a lot
その辺
of
にしとけ
shit that's gonna
二
happen.
人とも本当に死ぬぞ
しかしこれではまだ足りない
He's
いい
sleepwalking?
んだよそれで
I mean, that's what he did for most of the game. It's alright, Robokai. You can let those kids die. They suck.
無力じゃないケツから廃屋突っ込むぞ
何をしている僕は知っているぞ君はここの住民に迫害を受けてきたはずだなぜ彼らをかばう
わからん わしは貴様より高性能だから考える前にやるべきことがわかるんだろう。貴様がかわいそうなやつだってこと
He's got like an i87 processor.
そりゃ町の連中には
Oh, Batman might not be awake yet.
だがな、結局わしは社会がなければ満足に油もさせない。この服も柔軟剤も洗剤もどっかの誰かが作ったもんだ。まあだからわしもどっかの誰かの役に立つことをしてきた。それで社会の一員だってことで納得している。
Yeah, that's right, kids. They're realizing that they're
よほ
garbage.
どケツの穴が小さい社会に生まれたんだろうな。まるで余裕がない、隙もない。何がしたいのかはいまいちわからんが。
Voyage Home
夢
are
の叶え
amazing.
方を
Strongly
間違
suggest
っ
them.
ているよ。
Maybe sometime I'll watch them.
え
貴様、本当は世界なんてどうでもいいんだろう。
何をしている。もう下がっていい。
一つ教えとかにはならん。
なぜ君まで命を懸ける。
貴様らがバカだからだ。このままじゃここ
Why
に
do
い
you
る
need
み
to
んな
risk
が
your life as well? Because you're
わ
dumb.
しは高性能だから
You're being an idiot right now.
一つで十分だということがわかる。
When you're talking to someone, you're trying to still talk to them even though you know you're falling
人
asleep.
の夢を笑っちゃいかん。
Maybe he could be waking
わ
up.
しなりの哲学だ。それだけ守ってればご大層な思想なんていらないんだ。喧嘩しようが何しようが人はつながれる。だからいっぺん反省してこい。
Alright, Robocow just went all Vegeta on us. There we go, now he's awake. Getting hit by a heavenly pool cue will do that to you. It'll make you wake up. He chalks the tip with Folgers. I forgot that Sanctus Maximus was dressed up like the guy from the Welcome to the Black Parade music
もう
video.
戦力にはなれそうにない。こうなったら残りの命を使って犠牲者の蘇生に力を尽くす。僕たちの夢の続きは君に託してもいいかい。
ああ、任せてくれ。君は本当によくやってくれた。本当に。本当に。本当。できすぎだ。できすぎだよ、ベッドマン。素晴らしいコマだったよ。最後は自滅までしてくれるなんて。
This was
ありがとう。
This was her best case scenario.
絶対確定世界はきっちり仕上げるからね。まあちょっと。
Oh yeah, glasses are super strong, especially the ones made out of plastic.
どういうことだ。
え、わかんない。
I get plastic lenses
わかんないか。
so that I know that if I treat them roughly, they'll
私ね、この瞬
be
間
all
まで
right.
ずっと猫かぶってました。にゃお。
Don't go nya. You're
人間が嫌いです。
there are a lot of people who are allowed to go nya, and you're not one of them.
だから滅びればいいと。
Oh hey, my groceries are here.
思ってます。
Neat.
真の人類を創造し 正しい未来へ導くって。
私嘘つき？嘘つきとか言わないでお願い。それはさ、言葉の行間ってやつを読めない君の語彙力ってやつと読解力ってやつの問題だと思います。それにそうそう、どうしちゃいましたかベッドマンさん。目がお目覚めじゃないですか。寝言は起きている時に言うものじゃないぞ。
Man, Ariel's fucking sucks.
何人殺したと思っているんだ。
Feel bad for Got struck across the face with a racket. Lens popped out and scratched your eye.
絶対確定世界。その気になれば僕一人でもできると言ったはずだ。否定する。
Yeah,
ここは僕が作り出した
Batman
世
is
界だ。
really smart, so he can do
僕が
this.
定めたことが絶対だ。どんな力もここでは無力だ。だが残念だ。
But he woke up, which means that he's dead.
残りの命ではこれがせめて罪。
He killed a lot of people, though. Like, I feel bad, but he kind of had this coming. He killed the dog in the last game. Also, that's his sister. We didn't actually get to see her until the next game in the extra story that we watched, but... Think he needed to die? I believe that if he was allowed to stay alive, he could have become a better person. Literally, if there was a way for him and his sister to be awake in the world, that would satisfy him. And Saul Bad Guy is a very smart man, so...
消えた信号を復元できるというのかい。
復元なんてできない。
Karina would be offended.
だが消えてるから。
Again, it's like she watched the Welcome to the Black Parade music video and was like, oh man, that main character, I want to rock that drip.
西欧の信号を全世界にばらまけば。
そう。信号が検出されない場所に西欧はいるはずです。
She went really lazy with the candy skull look.
ポンコツチーム逆転勝利か？
ポンコツなものか。フレデリック来たぞ。よし、座標を受け取れ。
Love how Zappa's team is it's team bottom of the
火を入れ
barrel.
るぞ。座標をメインモニターに出せ。エイプリル最短ルートの検出だ。
任せて。
Tiny waist.
目的地は北大西洋上空。
Yep. Don't want to know how the organs in there work.
北大西洋ですって。
Hey, nice to see you, Bandicoot.
おい、ネオさんよ。
はい。
立ってると目ん玉が飛び出るぜ。
Is this new DLC? No, this is the second half of the Xrd story. So Bedman just died.
グリーンカムビラーク号発艦。
Venom hit him with a giant pool cue from the sky, and he woke up, but by waking up, his illness progressed, and he got really powerful for like 3 seconds, and then turned to stone.
さて急ぐぞ。タイムリミットが近づけばヘヒョン殿に負担がかかる。フレデリックたちが準備でき次第対応する。
起動申請発進。第二連王の承認を確認しました。
メインブリッジスリープ解除。起動プロトコルは2から8まで省略。ここからは起動管制と計測、それから通信は設備のものを使用する。動作確認を忘れない。
了解だ。
So just to recap everyone's like stances, the Pope. Where does this fall in the timeline now? Still before the first one that we watched. This game happened like just before the events of Guilty Gear Strive.
おしゃべりはそこまでだ。
Apparently, we're watching Guilty Gear backwards.
崩壊チャンバー圧力正常。
But yeah, so essentially the Pope wants to create a world where only her perfect version of humanity can live, thereby eliminating all current humans. The people that live in this world don't want that. So they're rushing to prevent that from happening. Yeah. Johnny has a very illegal airship that the king and Saul are on right now. Because they're worse things that people are doing right now. Oh, and also we found out that Sin is 3 years old in this game. I'm pretty sure it's 3. And his mom is 8. But it's okay because they're life forms that mature quickly. They're not completely human. The DLC was the shorter movie that I thought was going to be longer? Yeah, exactly.
話が合いそうだな、王女さん。だが素敵なおしゃべりはディナーの席に。
You remember that? Yeah, how Sin thought that people become mothers by losing their eyes.
ここに来ます。
So yeah, essentially, Big Hat Lady is trying to fuse her daughter with a giant robot to create her perfect version of humanity. So they don't want the fusion to happen, and they're gonna throw Jacko in there. Because, you know how I said in the previous game that Jacko was like a patch file? Essentially, she's trying to install a malicious patch, and they're trying to install the right patch. 3 and 8? Yeah, we know for sure that Dizzy is 8 in this game. I'm gonna double check. Sin. I'm pretty sure he's 3. Yeah, he's 3 in this game. He was 5 in the other game that we played. And if we keep going backwards to Guilty Gear 2, we'll play the game where he's 1-year-old.
保証はできない。最善は尽くすがな。保証できない。最善は尽くすと言った。そもそもそんな事態になれば、彼らどころか人類全体の危機なのだ。
しかし、お前に判断できるのか。
それは私に任せてもらうほかない。だが、危険と判断した時点で、ソルも攻撃対象になることは。了承してもらいたい。
ダメだ。やはり艦隊の指揮は俺が取る。
断る。第13艦隊はもともと私の管轄だ。私が戻った以上、君にその権限はない。
なんだと？お前は彼らのことを知らない。今までどんな逆境であっても。
そうだ。
I think that's all natural, baby. No corset needed.
冷静な判断ができる。君はどうだ？
ジャスティスもソルも肉体的に破壊したところでコアは不滅だ。 問題を先延ばしにするだけだぞ。
だが対策を練る時間は作れる。
違う。ソルが死ねば
If Saul dies, then how can we play the last game that we played?
そうなれば対策もクソもない。
ではそうならないように祈るしか。
Don't cause a paradox, Daryl.
ジャスティスを粉砕すると言ったが、
300 years with great genetics? No, just 3. Again, it's the reverse of the thousand-year-old lolly.
艦隊にコライダーキャノンを搭載している。
It's like, yeah, they're an adult, but they're 3.
注文の出
So
力
don't.
に到達せず難航していたが、それでも類を見ない破壊力を持っている。ジャスティス
Got
の
about
入
worse
力部
than
位以外を
Barbies from the
狙えば
90s.
痛
You're
手
not
を
wrong.
負わせられるはずだ。
I mean, the 90s was the time when, like, Kate Moss was the ideal.
だがくれぐれも
One
早まった
real
まで
good
は
thing about
タイム
our
リミット
timeline
は
right now is that people realize that that is immensely unhealthy.
クソ。何が保険だ。
どちらへ？
保険だ。俺も保険を手に入れる。
長いわね。人類が滅ぶかどうかの40分。
ああ、じゃあなんか話そうぜ。
話すって何を？
そうだな。前から気になってたんだけどさ、親父ってもしかして母さんの親？
シン。
Oh, I
その
I think this is one of my
話題は
favorite
今や
scenes.
めておけ。
何の話だ？
あら、そのことなら私が一番。
ジャックをやめろと言ったはずだ。いいか、今から皆何も考えるな。
なんで？
それが平和だからだ。決戦の前だ。もやっとしたくない。俺は間違ってない。
待ってくれ。そうか。その話はディズィーはジャスティスの娘で、つまりいや嘘だ。まさかそれが私の弟。
カイどっちが勝った？絶叫コンテストは
シンのおかげで楽しい旅路になったわね。
状況を考えろ。
I fucking love when they realize that Saul is Kai's father-in-law. They fought together during the war, and then fought against each other after the war. And then Kai married his weird half-gear daughter. That's 8 years old.
慈悲なき刑事は人間を憎んでいた。
No worries, Bandicoot.
を感じた。しかし
Lurkin's always fine.
人間とはこうあるべきだという美徳を説いているようにも思えた。
美徳？
あなたは人と神の中間的な存在です。人間の運命がどう見えていますか？つまり
慈悲なき刑事の考えがわかるかってこと？人は海を埋め立てて浅瀬をどこまでも広げようとしている。誰もが安心して進むことができるように。しかしどこにでも行けるようになった結果、どこに行くことも等価値となった。振り返った時には沖との境界はなくなり、どこに帰るべきかもわからなくなり、帰る必要もなくなる。高波や深い海の底はそれを警告していた。そこがお前たちの居場所だと。ってところかしら。
それもそんなこと言っていたな。
Honestly, I think I prefer Jacko as a redhead
年を食ったやつ
rather
の
than a
悪い
blonde.
癖だ。
レイブンってやつが言ってたことと同じか。うまいステーキも食いすぎると味がなくなるって。
ま、私は間違っても神じゃないけど、でもそうね。もし注射一本で人類が幸せを感じ、食べる必要も考える必要もなくなると言われたら、あなたはそれを幸せだと思う？
それでは まるで機械です。
そう、慈悲なき啓示もそういう未来を嫌っているみたい。でも私はそれも幸せだと思う。滅びと考えるのは今を生きる人固有の考え方かもしれない。
ではそれが人の幸せだと。
それもと言ったでしょ。人には選択できる自由がある。
その権利を奪われるわけにはいかない。
So everyone just kind of agrees, like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't force people's
飛
opinions.
行機乗ってバカの家に土足で入るやつはやけどするってことだ。
Yeah, walk into someone's house and show disrespect, you get burned.
きっちり返してもらうぞ。エルフェルトは
Someone walks into my house and says, wow, that painting looks really bad. I put a lighter to their face.
何が起きた？
That's how that works.
浮遊感か。
それだけじゃないみたい。
よかったな。ゴールは間違ってなかったってことだ。ちょっと揺れるがシートは汚してくれない。
John, you really said don't shit yourself in my ship. This is real Corinthian leather. You damaged this. We haven't had this for like 150 years. Oh shit. When we finish this, we can watch the Pudding Demon turnabout as well. There's some extra content, some after stories for a few different characters. So there's one for Daryl that's absolutely amazing.
嬉しそうだな。奴らはお前にとって希望か？いいだろう。お前はこれから真の人類となる。希望を抱くにふさわしい。だが間違っちゃう？ダメダメダメ。チャンスって実は山ほどあります。大事なのはそれを認識し見分ける力です。本来は他者から教えられるものじゃありません。だから今から私が話すことはとても貴重なものです。あと数分もしないうちにお前は世界で最も孤独な存在になる。その時あの船に乗っている何人かは生き残れます。だがここに来れば死ぬ。私が殺すからです。私には殺せるからです。
So yeah, essentially when the new version of humanity is created, the backyard, the plane of information, is going to combine with the material plane. And anyone who can't handle that pressure of information is going to die. Some people, like Saul, will be able to survive it. Also, that's a really pretty sword.
ここまでは私の意志だ。しかしここから先は私の義務になる。お前は奴らを殺したいですか？
追い返せって言いたいの？
希望の意味を考えろと言ってます。
彼らは世界を救いに来たの。私の言葉じゃ帰らない。でもまたソルさんに怒られちゃうな。無駄とか無理とか諦めのいい言葉を使ったら。だから信じる、みんなを。だからあれが私の希望。
エルフェルト、眺めはどうだ？そこからの眺めはいいか？今のうちに楽しんでおけ。晩飯までには帰るからな。
All right, we're gonna have dinner. You have fun at the park, and when we're done, I'll pick you up. Okay?
今日の献立は何ですか？
お前に決めさせてやる。人類が滅んだ後か助かった時か、そん時の気分で決めろ。
Saul's a really good dad.
Mischoice.
That was mischoice, actually. Subtitles. Oh, hey, it's the final chapter. Looks like we're going to be watching a couple of the after stories today as well. And I'm going to have to figure out something new to play on Mondays.
ジャックオ、お前はエルフェルトのところへ向かえ。あとは
ぶっ飛ばす。
シン、言葉が汚いぞ。
Hey,
じゃあなんて言うんだよ。
Tushy.
ぶっ飛ばす。明日からは使うな。
Kai. Language.
あなたは？あなたのもう一人のお母さん、いや、お姉さんかな。
Oh god, that's some JoJo Part 4 level bullshit. Hi, I'm your mother.
いいよね。
And kind of your sister, I guess, too.
貴様ら、それまで生きていられるかな？
God, I really want them to make an animated Guilty Gear movie. I want to see this with a budget in theaters.
その程度ですか？私が何の備えもなく、ただお前らの到着を待ってたと思う？
消し飛びやがれ。
そんなおもちゃに頼るなよ。
3倍だ。山なら吹っ飛ぶおもちゃだね。
山か。
A mountain wasn't enough.
なぜドラゴンインストールを使わない？本当は分かってます。したくてもできないんですよね。そんなことしちゃったら情報体フレアが一気に増幅する。以前の私ならそこを計算できなかった。お前が純粋に私を倒せる戦力としか考えられなかったから。本来なら不可能なミッションよ。ラムレザルもあれを殺すために同化戦力を投入してたらこっちの手頃が減っちゃってたでしょ。子供も見捨てられない欠陥品だったから簡単に始末できちゃった。よかった。最後
Man, she's a shitty mom.
親孝行してくれたよね。
てめえはそれ以上しゃべんじゃねえ。何？てめえの悪口を言わなかった。てめえが悪いことしてるのをやめさせたがってた。どんなやつだろうとてめえが母さんだからだ。それを
放っておけば幸せだったと思うの。貴様 貴様らの味方になったからといって人形ではない。生き続けて孤独になるだけだ。
だからといって生きる権利を奪う道理はない。
このまま時間を稼げ。20倍なら耐えられねえはずだ。
A Kaioken times 20 is pretty strong.
お待たせ。これはあなたの役目は私が引き継ぐの。もう少し待ってね。
ジャック王さん、所定の位置につきました。
よし、標的の最終確認後即時に発射。時間がないぞ。
最終安全装置解除。カウントダウン開始。
You can do it, Team Bottom of the Barrel. I believe in you.
待って、座標が微妙にずれている。
God damn it, Team Bottom of the Barrel. This is why we call you that.
くそ、まだかよ。
これだわ。
何を孫ついてやがる。
地面が陥没してるの。
なんだと。少しくらいなんだ。構わねえからぶちかませ。
ダメだ。誤差範囲を超えている。このままでは十分な効果を期待できない。ジャック王、位置を修正できるか。
今はちょっと手が離せない。
それ、ここを預けるぞ。
さっさと行け。
Go, son-in-law. I mean, what? Yeah, this is the second time that we realized that something was going on with Kai. And then he got his dragon installed in Guilty Gear Strive.
反対側を支えて持ち上げろ。僕はもう大丈夫だ。
わかった。おら
大丈夫だと。お前はなぜ人形どもの味方をする。神にも等しい存在のお前が。人形どもはオウムみたいに人の言葉を真似てる。
Yeah, but that would be really cool, though.
やがて
Just a bunch of parrot people walking around.
だが奴らは進化などしない。ただ全ての答えを明らかにするだけ。想像は無限だが理解は有限なんだよ。人間らしい感性など自ら放棄してしまう。お前はそんな世界で一人で
Alright, but Maximus, you just gave an arbitrary definition to humanity.
は？
俺は今まで一人であることに努めてきた。俺がそうしてきた。俺が望んだ俺の世界だ。ところがそんな自分の世界を持った奴らがあちこちぶつかってきやがる。俺ただの守りたいだの、成り上がりたい、取り戻したい、やり直したい。それはもうガンガンと鬱陶しくな。まるで花火だ。おかげで俺は一人でいることを認識できた。一人じゃなく一人だ。俺の世界は何かに許された俺の自由なんだよ。だが本当に誰か一人の望みだけで存在する世界ってのは結局自分が一人であることも認識できなくなる。それはてめえがムカついている世界と何が違う。この世界はでけえ花火だ。見逃す手はねえだろうが。
Do it, Saul!
いいぞ、ターゲット石が修正されていく。
よっしゃ、もうちょいだ。
Oh, that's unfortunate.
So.
フレデリック、まだか。発射10秒前だ。
これは形勢逆転ってやつです。
God. So this is a really interesting here. This is a really interesting way to show off Japanese story structure compared to the Western 3-act structure. Give me a sec. I got a visual aid here. So, you know, the 3-act structure that we have here in the West is basically like, there's the introduction, and then it keeps on going up until some cool stuff happens, and then there's like a dip. Like there's the hero's lowest point. So there's a resurgence, there's the climax, and then it ends. Like the hero's journey, if you will. You know. But the Japanese story structure is it's a bit different. Here's the visual aid. I just need to put it up on the screen for you guys. That's an advertisement. I'm gonna get rid of that before I put it up. There we go. So yeah, the twist is actually a really huge part of Japanese story structure, where the development keeps on going until they reach the climax and they're about to win, and then there's a twist at the end, just like we just saw, where, you know, the music's going, the deviation has been adjusted, everyone's super hyped, and then the chain breaks. That's... and things get crazy. I find that a lot of people here in the West really appreciate that story structure because of how different it is to the one that we are familiar with. And it's a bit refreshing. So if you're ever in the business of like writing a story, keep in mind that there are other story structures that you can take from besides the hero's journey.
発射されました。シン、諦めるな。万策尽きたか。ちくしょう。
I think Disney tried to make that work with their twist villain kind of era, like with Zootopia and Frozen. But I don't think that they quite understood what makes that structure work, and it didn't pay off.
とにかく持ち上げて。
Like, I really fucking liked Zootopia, but Bellwether wasn't a great villain. I think a lot of the problems that came from that is Disney didn't understand that you needed to give the audience hints throughout the development phase. If you're gonna have a twist villain.
俺が何の備えもなしにここにいると思うか。この位置に立っていると思うか。
Hey, Ram? Don't protect your mom.
何年生きてきた。何年生きてきた。お前にも未来は見えてんだろ。この先の世界は お前が経験してきた全ての価値を否定する未来だ。いいのかよ。思い出してみて。過去恋をした、苦労を乗り越えて何か達成した、未来に期待を寄せて胸を躍らせた。話してみろ、お前の過去を。
おいおい、
それを言ったら
月が落ちるぞ。
Oof. Hey, Elle felt safe. And the sisters are reunited. Jacko's fusing with Justice. Which is going to restore Saul's girlfriend.
やったぜ。
But Daryl's still gonna be a punk ass bitch.
そっちはどうなってるんですか。状況を教えてください。フレアは収まってません。なんだって、フレデリック。
ああ、聞こえている。確かにジャスティスは人間になっていない。どうなってやがる。
原因が分かったわ。アリアが人間になることを拒否している。
Oh, what?
潜在的
Yeah,
な意識
Arya.
暴走した時の記憶が強すぎる。アリアはあの時から今まで
Wake up, Arya.
されていた。
そんな。
一つだけ方法がある。もう一度エネルギーを満たせば、私が一時的に彼女の意識を支配して強制的に融合することは可能よ。ただその場合、さっきよりも強力なエネルギーが必要。
これ以上の出力は出せない。
タイムリミットだ。
待ってください。第二連王の確認を。
待てない。コライダーキャノン発射準備。
Alright, but what if the collider cannon is enough energy? Maybe Daryl's being really smart and not incredibly dumb right now.
レオ様はどこ？
パラダイム、ジダンは撃てるか。
何を？
撃てるのか撃てねえのか。
撃てる。しかし効果がなければ無意味なだけではなく、
ジャンクヤードに火を入れる。オラトリオ星人を直接こいつにぶち込んでキックスタートさせる。
時速何キロだと？見切れるわけがない。それに受け止められない。
ガタガタ抜かせな。代案があるなら1秒以内に出しやがれ。
ザッパ殿、はい。
方針展開。照準をジャスティスに固定。
聞こえますか、ダレル。
聞こえている。どうやら作戦は失敗だったようだな。
そのようです。しかし最後の希望があります。あと数分の間でいい。待ってもらえませんか。
希望はこの砲撃だ。ソルバット外の無謀な賭けのことではない。
Well, unfortunately, Daryl, he's the main character. He has a last name. You don't. You should defer to him.
人類の命運をかけるわけには。
できる。
レオ。
イリリア連王国憲法第3条12項だ。第1連王カイキスク、第2連王レオ・ホワイトファング連盟のもと、現地力を持ってお前を第3連王から解任する。
Hey, I looked in this book and there's some bullshit that I can pull.
分かっている。この有事に人間然としたくだらん争いだ。しかしそれでもあのソルという男には全てを預けてかけられるだけの価値があるのだ。少なくとも我々の身勝手で殺すことになれば、もはや人類は何かに感謝する資格すら失うぞ。さあカイ、俺はすでに承認した。あとお前だけだ。
やめろカイ。こんなの馬鹿げている。冷静になれ。
私はありがとう、レオ。しかし
What?
ダレルは間違っているわけではない。承認はしません。
何？
その代わり、その船に転移装置はありますか？
ある。この距離ならば皆を回収できる。初めからそのつもりだ。
助かります。しかしソルも標的にするなら私も残してください。
Hey Daryl,
標的命中まで。
you're gonna be responsible for murdering the first king of Illyria if you do this.
てめえは死んといろ。
これが本当に奇跡の賭けであることくらい私にもわかる。友を犠牲に生きながらえるなら私の王としての世界を。
転移開始。
あ
これは
Oh god damn it.
バカな、ダレル、すぐに私を戻してください。
すまないカイ。君と同様、私も信念に最後の希望を託している。
Should have signed the thing, Kai.
人類のために必要だ。砲撃開始。
それ
ジャックを突き合わせちまったな。
あなた本当に最後の1秒まであがくのね。でもいいじゃない。約束を守ってくれた。あなたは一人にはならなかった。
それでよしとするか。
Thanks for the tension loading screen. Man, it's a good thing we had Dio, huh? Dio realized that he lives in the world, so he used the world. Oh, welcome back, Bandicoot.
すごいっしょ。この一体の時間を圧縮しちゃいま
They
した。
they beat the Pope, but then Jacko couldn't fuse with the giant robot.
旦那が変身しても
So, here, give me 1 sec. Alright. So, they fired a giant laser at the Pope to give enough energy for Jacko to fuse with the giant robot and essentially foil her plans. And they did it. Jacko was able to fuse with Justice. But it wasn't enough energy. So, they were dead in the water, and the third king of Illyria, Daryl, was like, okay, well, you guys failed, so I'm gonna blow you guys up. And Saul was like, hold on. I got this really cool sword, and if I can use that in conjunction with another laser, we can make it work. And Daryl was like, you're an idiot, Saul. No. We're gonna blow up Justice. And then Leo Whitefang, the second king of Illyria, is like, hold on, I found this book, and this book says that if Kai and I say no, we can just make you not king anymore. And Daryl's like, what the fuck? And Kai's like, I'm not signing that. So he's like, what the hell, Kai? This was the plan. Kai's like, listen, you have teleporters. Teleport everyone onto the ship before you blow this place up. Except for me, I'm staying behind with my friend. And Daryl's like, okay. And then he teleports everyone onto the ship, including Kai. And Kai's like, what the fuck? And Saul and Jacko are like, oh, guess it's time to die. And it was a really sad moment. And the lasers started firing on them. And then there was a loading screen. And everything turned white. And now we're here. Axel has stopped time. They have enough time in stopped time. So all the princes were squabbling? Exactly. This is why Daryl isn't allowed to have a last name. Because he did this. But yeah, so Axel popped up, stopped time, and is like, hey, listen. You can go wild in the stop time and it won't affect the world. So, go ham. And thanks for the drink. Oh, and actual water too. Thank you. Also, by doing this, by exercising his godlike time abilities, he can't go back to his original timeline anymore. That possibility has been erased. Well, yes, but yeah, Axel's a really tragic character. He was forced out of time to deliver a message that could save this world. At the cost of his entire life. Oh, and one thing that I missed. Saul couldn't do this in the fight against the Pope. Because if he transformed, her plan would succeed, and all of humanity would die. Is this the original Japanese? Yes. So, because Axel stopped time, he was able to do this. Unfortunately, with this game, they weren't able to make a, well, sorry, they didn't make an English dub, because I don't think they wanted to spend the money on it.
Sorry.
He couldn't stop time and fight the Pope. So if he stopped time to fight the Pope, his original timeline would be erased. And he was conflicted because, like, he didn't want his girlfriend to be gone forever. Yeah, essentially Axel's dilemma was he had to choose between going back to his original timeline and erasing the one that we're currently in, or staying in this timeline and erasing his original timeline. And it looks like in the end he chose this one. Because if he went back to his original timeline, even though he had the chance to save the world, his girlfriend would smile at him and be like, "Oh, buddy, how could you do that?" So he wanted to do right by his girlfriend. And also, this is how we get red hair Jacko. She is a complete human now.
What?
Oh, sorry, yeah. Saul can't stop time. He doesn't have that power. Oh yeah, and Kum Hai Hyun here was preventing the world from, like... He was essentially holding the line for humanity not being destroyed. Guilty Gear lore is crazy. I really appreciate what they did with Guilty Gear Strive, focusing on a small group of characters, because I forgot just how much happened in this series. Wow, Daryl! Gonna commit to the bit, huh?
つまり噂通り軍神だったようだ。丁重におもてなししよう。
そいつはありがてえ話だが。
やれやれ、修理費もミスターに追加だな。
Oh, his ride got scratched. That sucks.
酒がありそうな方に行くか。
How about I need a drink after all this shit? Alright, so that was the Guilty Gear Xrd story. We still have some after stories to go through. If I remember correctly, there is one about Saul and Kai. There's one about Venom and Robo-Kai. Those two, specifically, that just appeared on the screen. And there's one with Daryl. So we still got a little bit more content left. Yeah! The after stories are really, really good. Two of them set up the world, and one of them is absolutely batshit insane hilarious. One of them I specifically call the Pudding Demon Turnabout. It reads like an Ace Attorney case. Also, you're gonna see that name Daisuke Ishiwatari a lot, because he had his hands in everything. One of my favorite stories about Guilty Gear is that back in the early 2000s, the band Skid Row, they're a metal band, they were releasing an album, and one song they thought wasn't hard enough to go on their album, like it was a bit too upbeat. And Daisuke listened to it and was like, dude, if this isn't going on the album, this crazy guitar riff needs to be on there. Yeah, we finished Strive. Strive is done. As far as there might be more story released as DLC in the future, but we're current with
フレデリック、
Strive.
これで危機は本当に去った。ありがとう。
Ooh.
アリアは君に任せ
Is
た。
Nick Fury gonna recruit Saul Bad Guy to the Avengers?
僕たちの決着だけだね。
は？え？なんでだよ。もう二人が喧嘩する理由なんてねえだろ。
確かに。もうギアメーカーもあの男もこの世界には必要なくなった。でもね。
シン、よく見ておけ。
That
あれ
man.
が男の目だ。
Yeah, that
喧
that
嘩
was
を
his
売る野
nickname.
郎の目だ。
That's Asuka.
ああいう目を
from
した
Strive.
やつには理由なんかいらねえ。答えてやるのが筋なんだよ。俺が売られた。いいだろ。アスカール・クロイツ。その喧嘩買ってやる。
And here's Eno. So that was the teaser for what happened in Strive, and we had to wait like 5 years for that.
Don't say bye. Don't say bye. It's just
Ah, this is a really good song. I like this one.
Don't say bye.
Don't say bye.
Now
Pick up the map that was discarded. God.
the whitest face was innocent, for the man didn't paint with no
Part of the reason that Daisuke writes the songs in English is because he thinks that if he wrote it in Japanese, it would be really distracting to the arcade players who play in Japan. But if they don't know what the lyrics are saying, you know, it's just background noise. It is commitment, yeah. I don't know if Daisuke himself personally plays any of the instruments. I think he hires a band. But he composes all the music for the game. And he also composed a lot of the music for Blaze Blue. English is bullshit. To learn English is to learn like 3 other languages with it. Cause like it was heavily influenced by French when the Normans invaded. And then I would say that I would add 2 other languages because of regional variants and absorbing other aspects of other languages. I have immense respect for everyone who learns English as a second language. Yo, look at that logo for Beanpod Corp. I absolutely love it. What does Beanpod Corp do? They've done Dynasty Warriors, Samurai Warriors, Onimusha, Dead Rising. The production of other well-known movies. Yeah. Language barrier is one of the main reasons why it took so long for X Japan to get game popularity in the US. I can absolutely believe that. Alright, I have to grab my groceries after we're done the stream. Luckily, they can hang out on my front step because they have ice packs in them. So we're good. I like how the localization team is called Schmedia. Oh god, that's a name. Anne-Lou Grebois Favreau. That is a mouthful. Nah, I'm all for it. Is this gonna be one of those games where it thanks you, the player? Oh, god damn it. As a kid, whenever I beat a game and it said special thanks to, and you, I was like, oh, thank you too, for making this game for me. Fucking Mad Catz worked on this game? They're the, and Lab Zero. Huh. Lab Zero, they're the guys who made Skullgirls. Until their lead guy, Mike Simon, was a piece of shit. And then they took Skullgirls and made their own studio. And it's a co-op, too. Yeah. Skullgirls is one of the best feeling fighting games that I've played. Like, everything... Accused of what? Being a general creep, making, like, sexually charged remarks to employees, abusing employees verbally, and I believe he also... So, the company wanted to become a co-op, and he was like, okay, sure. Just kidding, I'm going to take control of the company, and now I own it. So they were like, okay, well, we're all going to leave your company, and you also don't own the rights to Skullgirls anymore, and the company that does own those rights wants to work with us. So, bye. Right? Like... They say that power corrupts people, but is it really to that scale? And not only that, but like... Why would it be people who probably know what it feels like to be taken advantage of and abused? Like, is it them wanting to get back at literally everyone, or... I can't wrap my head around it. What scene was that? Oh, okay. So, before you came, Venom and Robokai were fighting, Bedman. And Bedman woke up and became super powerful. Because essentially, the reason he has to stay asleep is because the material plane can't handle his intellect. And since his body's on the material plane, it would destroy his body. So they beat Bedman, and the Pope walked up and was like, hey, so you lost, huh? And Bedman was like, yeah, but you know what? You're still gonna make our dreams come true, so I'll take care of everyone here, and you go make your version of humanity. And then the Pope was like, oh man, You're such a great pawn. You even killed yourself for me. And Bedman's like, what? And yeah, it turns out that the Pope was playing him from the beginning. So Bedman creates like a bubble around them and was like, you have no power here. And the Pope tries to kill him, but her energy ball is erased from existence by Bedman. And Bedman's like, I'd say that, but I'm out of time, and I must atone. And then he turned to stone and died. Bedman sacrificed his body. It looks like maybe his mind is still active in his bed frame, though. So that was Robokai's head. Essentially, back in like the earlier games, I believe, I think it was the League of Assassins, but I could be wrong. Somebody made a version of Kai Kisuke that was a robot that was the opposite of Kai. So he was a womanizer and like vulgar and rude. On Kai Kisuke's belt it says hope, but on Robokai's belt it says ennui. And yeah, essentially like after the events of a couple of games, he kind of became a bum, do an odd job so that he could get fabric softener and oil and stuff like that. Who's Raven? Raven is Asuka's... I mean, I don't want to say servant, but it's kind of accurate.
私たちの共闘関係はこれで終わります。もう私の行動を制限する者はいない。私は私の意志で計画に邪魔なものを始末しに行きます。
Raven wasn't really talked about in the game, so there's not really much of an explanation that they would have given you that you would have missed.
本当に私が勝てばあなたと奴との対決は実現しませんよ。
それが君との約束だったからね。心配しなくてもフレデリックには話してある。君もイノももう僕を助ける立場ではないと。
So yeah, Asuka was like, hey, listen.
彼には勝ち残ると伝えさせてもらったよ。
それで
I don't need, you're free to go.
納得したのですか?
I got my own stuff to do.
容易に想像がつくだろ。面倒くさがっていたよ。
背徳の炎ではありません。あなたのことです。
ん？
あなたはかつて言われました。平穏が訪れた時、私の役目はその右利にあることだと。あの言葉は私に語り部としての生き方を示したように思えます。なぜですか？我々がいずれ道を分かつことになるのは分かっていたはず。
ああ、だからこそだ。君に残す言葉があるとすれば、それは主従の関係であるべきじゃないと思ったんだ。だからあれは僕なりに、その友としての言葉だ。
That's why I didn't want to call him a servant, because like, Asuka really wants to have a friendly relationship with Raven.
少々。私も少し恥ずかしい話をしても。
あ。
もし神がいるとしたら、あなたは何を望みますか？願い事ではなく、その神にどうあってほしいかです。
神にか。僕に建設的な答えを出せるとは思えないが。
昔からあなたはさまつな話というものにほとほと関心を持たれない。
そうかな。
そうです。これほど長く仕えているというのに、私の身の上すらご存じないでしょう。
すまない。
遠く、はるか遠く昔の話。 私はかつて神の真似事のようなことをしたことがあ
I
ります。
think legitimately outside of playing his arcade mode,
一つの村
this is the most story that we get of
善
Raven
行
in
を
this
継ぎ
game.
ました。純粋にこの力を人の役に立てたいと思ってです。ある時は怪我や病を癒し、ある時は圧政に立ち向かい、そのことで罰せられ、時には極刑に処されたこともありました。しかし私は不死の身、何度でも舞い戻った。すると人々は私を奇跡と称した。
なるほど。まるで神と人との関係だ。
ええ、私も悪い気がしなかった。やがて私の存在が広く知れ回り、他の集落からも救いを求められるようになりました。新たな村でも今までと同じように救った。それらが落ち着くと、私は心の疲れを癒すために最初の村に帰りました。歓迎されると思って。しかしそれは浅はかな考えでした。私は避難の的となったのです。
長く力を示しすぎたがゆえに、君は村にとってあって当然のものとなっていた。
ええ、私がいない間に起きた悪い出来事は全て私の責任だと。その時私は気づいたのです。私は民にとって救いではない。ただかけると不便になるだけの
That's an interesting way to describe a god who can't be omnipresent.
ただのシステムだったのだと。神を気取っていた私はひどく落胆した。少なくとも人は神をシステムだとは思わない。ではならば人々の心を癒している神とは一体何者なのか。神は一体何を救っているのか。
神に何を求めたいかとは、そういうことか。今も答えを探しているのかい？
それをあなたが示してくださったのです。私はこう考えています。この世界には人の理解を超える何かがいて、それは人の心に寄り添っている。そう信じることができる存在を神と呼ぶのだと。それが人にとって真の意味での救いなのです。もしこの世に不滅の語り部がいるとすれば、それはきっと人の心に寄り添う存在になれる。
Oh man. This is giving me ideas for the campaign setting I want to write. Having an immortal storyteller that chronicles the deeds of every major event throughout history would be a really fun NPC.
後を頼むと。きっと
So I'm planning on running a Wild Beyond the Witchlight campaign for a few of my friends.
友として。
So maybe I'll introduce something like this to it too.
ありがとう。では、後のことを頼んだよ。
I've never played a pre-written D&D campaign before, so this will be interesting.
もうすぐお茶が入りますよ。
God, Casual Kai's outfit is really, really nice. The white pants with the blue shirt really work for him.
お茶か。
Is that also a playable character or just an important note? Important note.
なあ。
Essentially, I don't know if you can access it from here. You can't. There's actually like a terms list. So like if you're playing through the story mode and you encounter something that you don't quite understand, there's a dictionary that you can go into. Also, Dizzy's dress is really cute.
ソルもああ見えてしっかりと親の役割を果たしていたんだな。確かにこれは子供には苦いかもしれない。
じゃあシンは他の飲み物がいい？ミルクならありますよ。
じゃあ砂糖水。砂糖水？ああ、うまいんだぜ。親父と旅をしていた時には普通の水が一番だとか言ってなかなか飲ませてくれなかったけどな。でもなんかいいことがあった時はご褒美で飲めたんだよ。で、これは裏技なんだけど、ちょっとだけ塩を入れるとさらにマジゴッとうまくなるんだ。
ソルメ。
おはようございます。
Oh my god, look at Elfelt's cute dress!
その様子、よく眠れたようですね。
God, everyone has such cute clothing in this scene. I love it.
お布団が柔らかくて柔らかくて。あまり慣れない方がいいと思う。いつまでもここにいら
And
れ
Ram
るわ
got
け
a
ではない
puppy
のだ
dog
から。
too.
またラムはそんなこと言って。ずっといればいいじゃんか。
Everyone gets a cute casual outfit besides Sin.
ラムレザルさんの言う通りです。我々はそう長くここにはいられないでしょう。
我々？
Who is Dizzy to Sin again? Dizzy's Sin's mom.
そう。
And Kai's wife.
今は事件の直後でバタバタとしています。しかし、すべてが落ち着いたら、私は私と家族のことをすべて公表するつもりです。
それで、なんでここにいられなくなんだ？
お父さんは人間の王様です。そのお嫁さんが私では皆さん嫌がるでしょ？
なんだよそれ。母さんはそれでいいのかよ。
もちろんです。私はお父さんとシン。家族が一緒なら。
So one really cool implication of that extra story that we watched for Guilty Gear Strive is that Kai finally abandoned this facade that he was pulling off and introduced the world to the fact that he married Dizzy. He's been keeping it secret this entire time, as well as Sin. So at the end of that extra story, he abdicated his throne.
ディズィさんのことが書かれていますよ。
これは。そうか。彼女も戦場に出ていた。一般の目にも止まっていたんですね。
肝心なのはそこじゃありません。ディズィさんに関するみんなの感想です。命を救われた。最後まで私たちを見捨てなかった。まるで
So in the later Guilty Gear games, they established this theme that they want, like the world is sort of shifting to accepting the gears as
彼女が王妃様ならきっとカイ様とお似合いなのに。
Oh, that's really cute. I forgot about that. About accepting the gears as another race to live with as opposed to fight. And the payoff for that extra chapter is what this has been leading up to.
新しい世界の新しい王様たちになれます。私はそう思います。
それが本当なら、ここにいるみんなでずっと一緒にいられますね。
みんなで。だって私たちはみんな家族で
It's
しょ。
a really interesting underlying story of, hey, the world's trending away from racism now, so maybe we can start accepting people that aren't us. At least that's what I got from it.
でもさ、そうなったらみんなは親父のことなんて呼ぶんだ？
確かにそうですね。どうしましょうか。
Exactly, Dizzy. Dizzy is the daughter of Saul and Justice. So she's, I believe, half gear.
何よりも恐れていた事態だ。
そういえば今日はソルさん、いえ、お父さんがここに来ると言っていましたよね。ちょうどいいですね。
If it's easier to understand, Saul and Jacko are Dizzy's parents.
グッドタイミングじゃねえか。さすが親父だぜ。
クリティカルの使い方を間違えているぞ。間の悪さは確かにクリティカルだが。私が出るよ。みんなはそのままで。どうする？適当な理由をつけて追い返すか。しかしそれでは嘘をつくことになってしまう。そうだ、ここは一つ。すみません。先にソルと2人で話しておきたいことがあります。少しの間出ますが、心配しないでください。
Yeah, Dizzy's existence was the entire plot of, I believe, the Guilty Gear X series.
生き方を変える時だと、そういう話をしようと思っていたんだが、少し歩かないか。
便秘ですか？違う。じゃあ変な声出さないでください。何なんですか一体。
貴様、最近俺への対応が足ざまではないか？これでもレオだぞ。それに俺はここの人間じゃない。客人でもある。
それは見ればわかります。ここのもので紙の辞書を持ち歩く人なんていませんからね。でも客人アピールするならそれらしく振る舞ってくださいよ。ちょっと馴染みすぎじゃないですか。
空前絶後のスケールで自己処理をしているんだ。加えて神聖王の議題や G4 も迫っている。長居をしているのは俺の意思じゃない。それだけじゃない。俺の場合、国に帰っても問題が文字通り山積みなんだ。先日会の机の上には書類でできたチョモランマがそびえ立っていた。だから俺も国の仲間に聞いたんだ。俺の机はチョモランマになってるかとな。
It's so sad that he has to deal with paperwork.
そしたら、チョモランマというよりは月ですねと言われた。
どういう意味ですか？
山なら頑張れば登れるが、月には到達できませんよ。だそうだ。
Pour one out for Leo White saying.
それはご愁傷様です。
この通信は本当に俺が出なきゃならんのか？
レオ様、ご存知ですか？通信は受話器に触れないと会話できないんですよ。
はい。うわ。なんだ
Meanwhile, in the park. I wish they had green areas like this in my city.
それを今、私も聞こうとしたところだ。 扉越しに伝わるような陶器を放っておいて、一体どんな話をするつもりだったんだ？
お前は本当に吹っ切れているのか？
何をだ？
決着だ。俺とお前、互いの本気のだ。
何を今さら。それはまあ、未練がないと言えば嘘になるかもしれないが、私の中でけじめはついている。第一、私は常に真剣だった。今まで本気を出さなかったのはお前の方じゃないか。
Kai's the kind of guy that gives every single fuck that he can.
俺じゃない。今まで一度たりとも本気を見せなかったのはお前の方だ。
何よ。今日は一体何の話をしに来たんだ？
聖戦時、まだお互いが出会う前だ。天才剣士の噂をクリフから聞いた。それはつまりお前のことだ。俺はこれっぽっちも興味を持たなかった。だが初めて戦場でお前を見たとき、
If I remember correctly, Cliff was these guys' commander back in the Holy War.
超えた存在がいた。いや、あったと言った方が正しいか。
He's an old guy with a big old anime sword.
油断も躊躇も恥も外聞も騎士道も慈悲もない。感情なんて介在する余地のない存在。まるで屠殺場の機械だ。ただ効率的にギアを駆逐していくお前を見た。俺は
Like, if you remember that guy with like 1 HP that Arena fought that she could not land a hit on, that was Cliff. That's basically who Cliff
ああ
was.
聞け。ともかくだ。それが俺の知るカイという男の本気だ。そしてある日、お前が俺に勝負を挑んできた。その時、俺がどう思ったかわかるか？ビビってた。正直に言ってビビってたんだよ。こいつは俺がギアであることを知って殺しに来たんだってな。だから俺は全力で身構えた。
These after stories are actually really good for establishing the rest of the world for you guys. So I'm glad that we're watching them. Or at least this one in particular. The other two, not so much.
それは当たり前だろう。いや、チャンバラごっこと言われるのは心外だが、私が戦場で使う技術はあくまでも怪物を倒すためのものだ。
だからよ、お前はそこがずれてんだよ。俺はギアだ。化け物なんだよ。
だが、あんな戦い方をすれば、それはもう勝負ではない。
ああ、そうだな。真剣勝負だ。
真剣勝負？どう言えばわかるか。そうだな。ちょっとその剣を抜いてくれるか。
これか。
これでお前は一度死んだ。やり直したい、説明が足りない、初めから分かっていれば、そんな主張には何の価値もない。卑怯、騙し討ちが上等。ただ生きるか死ぬかだ。これは真剣勝負か。こんな負け方で納得できるか。
まだ分からねえのか。今日は俺がお前に挑戦してるんだ。念願の決着をつけるんだよ。
You're looking at the fandom wiki? Oh, fair enough. All I said was that I'm glad that we're watching these because they really help to establish the universe. At the very least, this extra story. You know, it talks about the Crusades. It talks about Saul and Kai's relationship. It talks about Kai and Dizzy. I'm glad that Kai's a favorite character of yours, though. He's a wholesome boy. Now, at least. Less so during the Crusades. He was an Angie boy during the Crusades. Or are they fighting now? Because Saul doesn't believe that Kai ever gave him a fair fight. That he was always holding back. Never actually going all out. Like, he is unsatisfied that their rivalry has ended with this game.
いかがされました？まさかまた何か起きたのですか？
いや、これは危機的状況の類ではないが、事件といえば大事件だ。ラジオをつけてくれ。
寝るなら帰ってベッドにしておけ。
ならちょうどいい。地面が一番付き合いが長いからな。なんで本気でやらなかった？
いつもと逆だな。お前だって変身しなかったじゃないか。
使う暇がなかっただけだ。
まあ実戦用の戦術だからな。知らなければ一方的にやられて当たり前だ。だが聖騎士団では初歩的な内容だぞ。
もう一度訓練に誘われたら考える。
それで何か分かったのか？
何？
初めはなぜ私を怒らせるのかと思ったが、だが動きで分かったよ。実戦で何かを理解しようとしていたんじゃないのか？
Saul's sword. Sorry to get off track, but Saul's sword. Oh, thanks for the drown. Is really, really cool. Because, so Kai's is called the Thunder Seal. It's a sword with the power of thunder. It's a legendary weapon. It's really cool. Saul has the Fire Seal. It's the legendary sword of fire. It's really cool. But Saul, at his core, is a scientist. So he built a system around the Fire Seal to enhance its properties and implement another legendary weapon called the Outrage. So it's kind of cool to see the difference between Saul and Kai. Where Kai keeps his sword as it is in its purest form, and Saul is all about exploring what he can do to enhance it.
そいつが正面から喧嘩を売ってきた。
呆れたな。こんなことで一朝一夕に理解できるわけないだろう。
説教は後でいい。どう思う？
ギアメーカーに勝てるかの話か。
Yeah, the Fire Seal is Saul's sword. It was a legendary weapon that he enhanced with science.
ギア戦闘の基本は変わらない。違いがあるとすれば、一般的な兵士の場合、ギアと距離を取る。そして時間を奪う。
時間を？気をそらすってことか。
そうだ。間合いの外から体力を削り続け、意識を散らす。そして攻撃が確実に当たると確信できたとき、本命の一撃を繰り出す。魔法使いの基本戦術でもあるな。
アスカ、魔法使いの頂点だ。冷静な分析をどう思う？
勝ちたいか。
喧嘩を買ったんだぞ。
チャンスを作るだけなら可能かもしれない。
楽しい話を出し惜しむんじゃねえよ。
だが一回だけだ。二度は使えない。そしてこれはお前にしかできない。対決の日時は？
具体的には決まってねえが、野郎から連絡が来る。
準備を整えるためだろうか。
いや、何でも身辺整理を終わらせたいらしい。
身辺整理？
番組を中断して緊急速報をお伝えいたします。本日未明、 ギアメーカーの身柄が確保され護送中との情報が入りました。繰り返します。人類史上最悪の滞在人ギアメーカーの身柄が確保されました。アメリカ合衆国政府に投降した模様です。
And that's the setup for Guilty Gear Strive. Who are Kai and Saul discussing? So Asuka picked a fight with Saul. He just had to take care of some personal affairs first. So Kai wants to give Saul a fighting chance against Asuka. And that's what led into the events of Guilty Gear Strive. Thought for a second with someone else? Yeah, I can see how that would have gotten a bit confusing. This is my second time watching through this, so luckily I'm also picking up some new information that I may have missed. But yeah, that was the after story that kind of explains a lot of the stuff happening in the world and transitions into the next game. There are 2 more after stories that we'll watch next week, because they're pretty long. I'm pretty sure they'll take up most of the 2 hours, at least. One's about Robo-Kai and Venom, and what they're doing after the game, as well as the League of Assassins. And then the other one is what Daryl's doing right now. It's a really, really funny one. During the day again, or in the evening? I'll have to figure that out. I'm pretty sure it's going to be another during the day stream. I'm going to be going apartment shopping pretty soon. In fact, next week on Thursday. And while I'm trying to get some apartment viewings, my evenings are kind of taken up, since I want to try and contact people when they're not at work. So because of that, I think evening streams are going to be not a thing until June. That being said, June and July should be full of streams because I want to get as much content out as possible before I start moving. Not the same ones I mentioned before? Yeah, I'm trying to get a good spread to see a bunch of different places and figure out what's going to work best for me. Not only that, but, you know, sometimes people don't contact you back or the place gets rented out from under you. So because of that, I want to just make sure that I have the highest chance of getting a place while I'm there as possible. There's also a possibility that nobody contacts me back, and I just go on vacation for a week and have to figure out the apartment situation in July. It's looking more and more likely. There are a couple of people that haven't contacted me back yet, so... Either way, having a vacation for a week is probably going to be a good idea for me. Plus, the week that I'm gone, my friend Andy is going to be taking over the channel. So I have no idea what he plans on doing. Alright, I feel bad for skipping this song, but I've really got to use the washroom. So I'll be back on Wednesday at noon Pacific time for Guardians of the Galaxy. No stream tonight. I'm going to be on a voice call with the Fool's Gold crew. And no stream on Wednesday evening. So I can look for apartments. I can always follow up again. Absolutely. That's the plan. I'm really hoping that I can find a place. But yeah, get hyped. I'll send you guys over to Lil Karibo. He's doing a Pharaoh stream as a VTuber, so he is Yugi. Well, I guess Yami Yugi. Thank you so much for hanging out with Guilty Gear. We'll finish up next week, and I'll figure out what we play after this. Catch you later. Thank you, Bandicoot. You have a great night, too. See ya.